for the thing that you don't understand. You got no fear of the underdog. That's why you will not survive.
Welcome to today's special edition of Talking Tier 1. I'm Tony Scott, and this is Peter Odney. We're going to hear announce today's pairings for the Rochester October Madness in Rochester, New York on October 28th. Today's show is brought to you by Hockey Shot. Hockey Shot's the #1 source in hockey training and skill building products. They pride themselves in offering the best and largest selection of hockey training products in the industry. They're always looking to help players, coaches, hockey schools, and associations in achieving all their goals. Get into hockey training. All right, Pete, let's do it. Name 32 teams. Talk about the format just a little bit.
The format, from what we can tell, Tony, is based a little bit around NCAA's March Madness, where the winners in the first round will move into the winner's bracket, while the losers in the first round will move into their own consolation bracket.
And then continuously, if you lose in the round of 16, you'd find yourself in your own consolation bracket all the way down to the championship. Every team gets 5 games. Championship game is their 5th game. You could potentially go 5-0 in the tournament.
Correct.
And be the only team that goes 5-0. Everyone else will have at least 1 loss.
Absolutely correct.
Kind of a cool format. I like it.
I'm
I'm dreaming of it for one of my events already. All right, let's get to it. We broke the brackets into 4 traditional NHL bracket modes, going with the old divisions, the Adams division, the Norris division, the Smythe division, and the Patrick. I'll handle the Adams and the Norris, and you get the Smythe and the Patrick, all right? We'll alternate back and forth and talk about a couple of players that we liked from the show last summer that are playing in this event as well. The Adams division, #1 seed is the Oakville Rangers out of Toronto. They'll take on the Boston Vipers. The next game is the New Jersey Colonials will face the Rochester Americans. Then the Chicago Young Americans will face Syracuse Nationals, go CYA. And finally, the Boston Junior Rangers will face the Colorado Thunderbirds. A few players you want to keep an eye out in the Adams division: Cal Ritchie, Matthew Soto on the Championship Ontario team. They'll head up the squad for Oakville. A couple guys from the player from the New Jersey Colonials who got hurt in the show was Aram Manishian. Hopefully I don't get mispronounce your name too badly there, Aram. He played for the Metropolitan team. He'll play for the New Jersey Colonials. And 2 players from CYA you want to keep an eye out for: Max Weiland and Chris O'Flaherty. They'll line up for CYA. And finally, Charles Michaud from the Colorado Thunderbirds. Want to keep an eye on those guys. You want to take on the Smythe and a few players from there?
Let's jump right into the Smythe division. We're going to have #1 overall seed Mid Fairfield take on the Rochester Monarchs. The Dallas Stars will play the Long Island Gulls. Next game, the Pittsburgh Pens Elite will play the TPH Thunder, and the Buffalo Junior Sabres will face the Connecticut Oilers. A couple players that we like out of this division include Ryan Fine and Logan Renkowski.
Ryan Fine was unbelievable in the show this past summer.
Logan Renkowski, a little bit of an underrated player, but plays mistake-free in his own zone.
Great player.
Ben Sujak from the Dallas Stars is another one to keep an eye on.
He played for the Rocky Mountain team in the show. Real solid player.
And goaltender Zach Ferris from Pittsburgh Pens Elite.
He saw more rubber playing for USA than I think the Indianapolis 500 Speedway. But he played great, and he stuck through it. Had a couple great big wins in the show last summer.
He's got a great glove.
Yeah, all right. Now we'll move on to the Norris division. Fittingly, we have Detroit Honey Baked is the #1 seed out of that division. They'll face the Amherst Knights, followed by the Montreal Nationals. A lot of great players that we saw from the show playing for that team. They'll take on Team Maryland. Assabet Valley Patriots will face the Buffalo Saints. And finally, the New Jersey Devils will face the New England Junior Hurricanes. A few players from Honey Baked you want to keep an eye out for are Brandon Hilton and Jacob Terpstra. They're 2 top scorers. I coached against this team in the show, and wow, they were a tough team. They were a really hard-working squad. These 2 really were standouts for them. And I get the privilege of talking about Vince Ellie and Christian Spadadora from the Montreal Nationals. Here's the tough question for you. This is kind of backbiting stuff we do on Talking Tier 1. What is better, Vince Ellie's hair or Vince Ellie's game? You got it. You have to tell us right now.
It's got to be his celebration.
Oh, that too.
Goes
That's right. Yeah,
he earns the right to celebrate by scoring so often.
Absolutely.
Vince Ellie is a fantastic player. He's got the quickness, and he's got the hands, and he's got the flair to go along with it.
Yeah, he definitely. All right, let's hear the Patrick.
Patrick Division.
Peter.
Number 1 seed in the Patrick Division is going to be the Philly Little Flyers.
Not the Junior Flyers or the Don Mills Flyers. The Little Flyers.
The Little Flyers will play the West Seneca Wings, followed by the Toronto Nationals will play the Westchester Vipers. The Providence Capitals will face Valley Forge, and Little Caesars will play the Valley Junior Warriors. Only 2 players from this division that we've seen personally will be Chris Pelosi and Charlie Serrato from the Philly Little Flyers. What a tandem from the show, Tony. What a tandem.
That whole team, that Mid-Atlantic team from the show, they were all showstoppers. We could go on and on about what a great outfit they had.
Absolutely.
All right, great event. Looking forward to catching some of the results from this. And we, in 2 weeks, get to predict on Talking Tier 1 who's going to win this event. I got a few already up my sleeve that I like. I bet you got a few too as well, based on looking at some of these rosters.
It's time to make some phone calls.
I'm going to do a lot of phone calls. I'm going to predict this one right. And that's a first. That'll be a first. Thank you for tuning into today's show. Good luck to all teams in the Rochester October Madness.